Yo, what is going on, guys? AudioShocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today, AMC is down about 6.5% as we are making this video, and most of our meme stocks slash short squeeze stocks are down a little bit alongside the market. And today we are going to be covering all of the DD that I have for you along with the charts. So make sure to stay till the end of the video so you don't have to watch another update video here on YouTube, because we will be covering everything right here. All I ask you to do in return, it's free. Hit the like button, get it to 1,000 likes, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. All right, guys, to first start the video off, we have been tracking the bull case scenario with AMC, but I have tracked out a bear case scenario just to get you guys ready for the worst, just in case it does happen. Now, in my opinion, bear case scenario for AMC is we come up to about $6.75, or honestly peaked at the range that we already hit, with a drop back down to about $4.35, a push to the downside before we break out of this falling channel and then build off of it. This is something that I assume we would see in the bear case scenario, which would mean we would just be playing out through other cycles that AMC has been tracking in for quite a bit. Now, if volume picks up, gamma ramp picks up, FOMO picks up, this is something that we would not be seeing going forward. However, it is a fight right now between retail market makers and short sellers. Now, this is bull case scenario that I see happening for AMC. Tomorrow we would have between a 15 to 20% day, one more big green day before a major rip to the upside and or a hammer candle, right? A complete sideways trading day, which if we look on the 5-minute chart, this is something that I would see potentially playing out. You can see it double tops right around the price that we're trading at. And today, even with what I have tracked out, you saw that major dip happen in AMC. Hopefully we hold this support. If not, we're coming back down to about $5.30 temporarily. So bull case scenario is an 18%-ish day, followed by that very large move that we are waiting for, which would be Friday. And the bear case scenario is a retracement back down to $4.35. As for GameStop, I actually see the bull case scenario playing out the same way until the bear case scenario hits. So right now, we're actually in a very weird spot with GameStop, where actually the bear case scenario cycles line up with the cycle that happened back in January before the big rip. So either way, I actually see GameStop potentially coming back up over the next couple of days and retesting 22, and then getting smacked back down to $17 easy way for a healthy retracement before essentially scaling back up. Now, if that is the case, we have a little bit longer for GameStop to actually have its move than AMC. However, I would completely scrap this idea that I have for GameStop's chart if AMC ran, because I think if AMC moves, GameStop's gonna move as well, gonna be a sympathy play, but not necessarily a sympathy play. We just assume that most shorts who are in GameStop are in AMC as well. But essentially, we were watching 22.50. I think the top out was actually 22. I think that is the resistance zone that we have to watch for GameStop, and potentially get another double top on that. And then $17 for a low. I'm watching a hold on $17 before a move back up. Now, I think $28 range to $30 range is where we're either going to see GameStop break to the upside or just run through another cycle. Overall, we have to see what the S&P 500 does. It is down 1% on the day, and this is exactly what I'm assuming is going to be the start of an aim for another low, right? A low below 352, another relative low for the S&P 500. I think at least for the first half of 2023, conservatively, the S&P 500 has to fall a bit further. The economy is not looking strong. We're going to get into that a little bit later. I do want to disclose I finally jumped into Bed Bath & Beyond calls. Very risky. IV is high. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. I'm just disclosing my position to you guys. Also, if you want daily talks with me, join the Discord down below. As to get into some AMC numbers, 22.09% short interest with the utilization still maxed out. So shorts are still stacking on. Now, the average cost to borrow dropped significantly from 200 and something percent down to 88% according to Ortex. However, somebody is still paying triple their position at 304%. As for APE, short interest 5.42%, utilization at 81%, and an average cost to borrow sitting around 8% as well. According to Stock Tracker, there are 0 shares available, however, so maybe that cost to borrow average will start to rise. We are losing calls to puts expiring in the money, so market makers are winning on the week, but you can see that they are pinning the price. 679,000 short exempts stacking up. Now, before I said, maybe they're not trying to pin the price. Maybe they're going to let it go this time. However, I also stated that, or this could be just correlating over to the volume. And you guys saw we had more volume, more to the upside, right? We had a 20% day, and then boom, you saw short exempts start stacking on. So market makers are trying to stump the momentum, and you guys know that Citadel is a hedge fund and market maker, which is a horrible conflict of interest, and they have way too much control over the market. So right now, you can see that institutions, hedge funds, market makers, whatever, they're trying to stump the momentum for these short squeeze plays so that one fund doesn't collapse and cause another fund to collapse, essentially making a domino effect up to the bigger players. As for GameStop, 200,000 shares available to borrow at a most recent fee of 22%. Again, losing calls to puts, 21,000 to 56,000. Now, Bed Bath & Beyond is interesting. There's no shares available to borrow. We are winning on the options chain with a high cost to borrow fee as well. 106 calls compared to 104,000 puts expiring in the money, when well over 1.03 million call contracts in total. So if Bed Bath & Beyond does get a second rip, it is absolutely over for shorts who are in that play, and they could essentially be in AMC and GameStop as well. Bed Bath & Beyond short exempts crazy high, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 4 million back-to-back days, really trying to stump the momentum against retail. Now, we know that they do not have these shares. You saw the OBV accumulate on Bed Bath & Beyond literally since retail picked it up. Market makers are creating shares, labeling them as short exempts, but again, these have to be issued into existence at some point. They're just digging the hole deeper and deeper. Now, you're seeing these headlines pop up again, like what happened back in the OG short squeeze 2 years ago. GameStop stock, Carl Icahn's short could backfire. Then you have articles like this. AMC Entertainment is up 38%. Undervalued, analyst says, right? This is the first time you're seeing this. An intrinsic calculation for AMC Entertainment Holdings suggests it's 32% undervalued. You also have articles like this. 3 ways AMC short sellers can get screwed. So usually when the media starts to portray things, they come true. And that is just because they like to assume to the public that they are always correct, right? You want to watch the news, you want to know what's going on, you want to know what's coming in the future because, you know, usually the news is on point. Could they be on point this time? Will AMC, GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond actually have their move the next couple of weeks? Now, U.S. December core PPI inflation rises 5.5% year over year, estimated at 5.7 and previous 6.2. White House says they are not going to be negotiating over the debt ceiling. What this means, I'm not sure. Does that mean they are going to raise the roof and not talk about it? Or does that mean the U.S. is screwed and they're going to default? Justice Department to announce major international crypto enforcement action today, so that should be something interesting to watch. And Ray Dalio says dollar-dominated global order is fading away. Remember, gold will always stay the same. And U.S. equities, according to Morgan Stanley, could slump another 22% from current levels. Speaking of that, I did something a little bit risky, and I definitely don't condone this, but I did sell my VOO shares, waiting for the market to tank and find a further bottom before I jump back in. Markets are wrong to think things will return to normal and should brace for an era of tumult, debt, and high interest rates, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers has said. Finally, somebody with half a brain. And Amazon to start 18,000 layoffs today. Following that, Microsoft announced it will fire 10,000 employees through the end of Q3 2023. Completely fire them. Ethereum development company and MetaMask creator also says to lay off 11% of its staff. And crypto exchange Coinbase says it will halt Japan operations. And finally, Party City just filed for bankruptcy in Texas, ticker symbol PRTY. This had a run recently. Party City in restructuring support pact with note holder group. Party City secured commitment for $150 million in financing, and they also have a pact with holders over 70% of SNR secured lien notes. Party City restructuring expected to be completed in Q2 of 2023. Following that up, another play to keep on the radar. Netflix announces earnings tonight, so be very, very careful. I looked at the earnings day, I tried to correlate it to the chart, and you saw very hard drop or a slight move up, and there was not really any sort of patterns that I could read off of following Netflix. However, it is assumed that they are going to have slower growth, but potentially a partnership. So this is very risky to play Netflix. I expect a big move one way or the other in Netflix, but it's definitely a play to keep on your radar. Now today, guys, I called Fidelity again because of somebody in Discord. I wanted to do it for myself. They didn't request it, but we had a little bit of a debate down in Discord. Also, guys, if you want to join Discord, I highly recommend it. There's trading signals, 250 plus of the best people in there. We post gains, we post losses, and we don't miss out on stock play opportunities, so make sure to jump in the Discord right now. You can also request videos that I can personally make and put up on YouTube. Also, guys, if you want up to 15 free stocks, use my link pinned in the top comments or in the description down below to get those. Download Moomoo, open an account, and deposit literally a penny, find a penny money in your room, put it in your bank, deposit it into Moomoo, and get free stocks. There's no reason not to do so. Overall, guys, it has been a very long day, and the sentiment going into the next couple of days in my head is we are still in this bull case scenario. We are ready to go, and apes are essentially ready to squeeze out these short sellers. I feel the sentiment in the air. However, we do have to pick it up a little bit on Twitter, getting people who aren't into AMC to FOMO back into AMC. We do need to get the price scaling again and again. And also, there is something going on. Whether people like to believe it or not, AMC rising 70% in 1 week, that's just not something that comes out of the blue. It's not something that plays out in a cycle. So I am essentially just looking forward for this week to come. I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond over 350%. Huge numbers based off of the option chain, short exempts. There's stuff happening. There's short liquidations going on in the background. The market is getting ready to tank. There's just so much intensity in the air right now. We're about to hit the debt ceiling. There's just so much to go off of, right? But essentially, to clear the air, calls on BBY, calls on AMC personally, and I'm in this till all or nothing, and I'm also just looking at all of this data for you. Make sure to have post notifications on, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and tune in for my fidelity call. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.